All right, welcome to this week's Points and Miles report on traveling on everyday spend. Um, Want to start by thanking everybody that has been watching the live streams and watching the videos. It's really helped a lot. And if you find this information beneficial, please consider subscribing or trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And every subscription helps. And so I hope I can earn your subscription tonight. So why don't we go ahead and just jump in and get started? So when we first look at this, we don't have a whole lot of credit card offers that are going on right now. I don't know if this is due to the beginning of the new year, but right now what we're looking at is we've got the Alaska Airline credit cards, both personal and business, for Bank of America that are going on. And then as far as Chase, we've got the Unlimited and the Freedom Flex, both with the $500 spend to get $200, which is not always there. So if you're interested, make sure to take a look at those. And then the United cards, which has been at their elevated offers for quite a while, we now see that it says offers are ending soon for all of those United credit cards. So if you're interested, don't necessarily wait till the last minute for those. And then we also have the world of Hyatt, both the personal and the business credit cards that have elevated offers. For the personal, we know that it's running through March 6th of 2025. The business one, we do not know. But once again, that personal one is definitely my favorite with the free night, category 1 through 4 night that you get each year can pay for that card by itself. So those are the intro offers that we have for right now. And then for points and miles opportunities, there are a whole bunch of them, and I'll have links for these in the description. But I'm going to focus on just the new ones that we have this week. So for Hawaiian, we do have a 50% bonus to purchase Hawaiian miles. Now that purchase period ends on February 21st. So if you purchase 3,000 to 9,000 miles, then it's 30%. And then anything over 9,000 miles is going to be a 50% bonus on that. Now, the maximum purchase is 100,000 miles, and that's just your actual purchase, not including the bonus miles. Now, if you do have the Hawaiian Airlines World Elite MasterCard, you could actually use that card to get 3x miles on the purchase of those points or miles. That is not something we normally see where you can get that elevated number on that. So that may be something to consider if you're looking to buy Hawaiian miles and want to get even more Hawaiian miles. And then with Hyatt, we've got 3 different things that are going on with them for promotions. We have the Hyatt bonus journey, and what you'll be able to get is 3x on your points at the Hyatt House and the Hyatt Place, which are basically their category ones, normally starting hotels, which normally have very good value. And then you can get 2x at over 1,600 different locations, including Mr. and Mrs. Smith, as well as the Venetian Resort, which we talked about last week, which is now under Hyatt. And that includes not just the Venetian, it also includes the Palazzo as well there. Now, you do have to be sure to book it through Hyatt to get those additional points. Registration is required by March 10th, but the qualifying stays are between January 27th and March 18th. So go ahead and make sure to register and just get it out of the way. I'll have a link for that registration page. Now, there are caps so that you can only get 10,000 of the additional points on the Hyatt Place and the Hyatt House, and then 20,000 in addition for all of the ones that fall under the other for the 2X. Then for Hyatt, we talked about the double elite nights for under canvas. We talked about that last week and provided more detail on it. But once again, be sure to book through Hyatt, register by February 28th, and the qualifying stays are between March 7th and June 15th. The third item for Hyatt is 500 reasons to stay somewhere new. And this is where you can earn 500 points per night at new locations. Now, registration is not required on that, but new hotels are added regularly with the designated offer dates. I'll have a link for that for you to be able to easily get to that. And then for JetBlue Vacations is one that just came up. Now there's two different parts to this. So first we have the Insider Experience Destinations. And what that is you can get up to $300 off of a vacation package, but you must book by December 31st. And that is good for travel all the way through November 27th of 2026. Now, you can get $25 off of any vacation package. And of course, when we're talking about vacation package, we're talking about the hotel as well as the air, or the air and the cruise that might go with that. It's $25 off of any package with that promo code of 25 Insider, and then $50 off of at least $2,000, $150 off when you have at least $4,000, and $300 dollars would be the max. Now, once again, this is not huge changing type money where you're going to specifically go to JetBlue just for this. But if you were already looking at a package for JetBlue, this just becomes that type of sweetener. Then the other one is where you can get up to $600 off of the vacation package. Now, for this, you do have to book by January 18th, which is just right around the corner. This is good for travel from January 20th of this year all the way to December 1st. And that'll start at $25 for a $1,000 package, $150 for at least $3,000, $350 for at least $5,500, and $600 for $7,500 at least minimum spend. And those promo codes are listed on the page. Once again, this is a case where this is just a sweetener. This is not a big enough type of deal where you're going to change your plans just to be able to get that. So, but I wanted to bring that to you because we do have some short windows for that. And then we'll move over to, so those are our new ones for the week. And once again, the links for all of these will be in the description, but I wanted to just highlight the new ones that we've come up with this week. And then as far as a few quick notes that I wanted to hit on, let's first talk about the American Express Centurion Lounge, but for Boston. This was just announced this week. It'll be located near gate C10. Now, keep in mind, if you're not used to the Boston airport, terminals B, C, and E are all connected airside. Terminal A is not. So now the construction is supposed to begin on this spring of this year, and it will be opening, but unfortunately we have to wait till 2027. The lounge, this lounge will be 2 stories, and it'll be at least 20,000 square feet. It'll be roughly 20,000 square feet. Now that will make it one of the largest Centurion lounges in the network. Now, a few of the features, it's going to have a grass and plant covered green roof, as they would call it, as well as a rooftop bar and patio. It looks like they've shown a couple of renderings, really looks nice. We just going to have to wait a little while to be able to get there for it. And then the second one is, I had to throw this in because it was something I read about. And this is the cautionary tale of do not do anything on social media with your uniform on or with your tag to show where you work, because it could literally cost you your job. So there was an Alaska flight attendant that ended up having a twerking session on the plane. She was a flight attendant with Alaska Airlines, and they were waiting a couple of hours for the pilots to get there, and she put herself on TikTok doing some twerking. And this was November of last year. Now, the unfortunate part for her was that it went viral. And unfortunately, it was not something that Alaska Airlines wanted to see. The other part that probably hurt her, in addition to the twerking, was the caption that she put on there, which unfortunately said, "Ghetto till I die, don't let the uniform fool you." They let her go as soon as they found out about it. And unfortunately for her, she says she was actually celebrating the end of her probation, which she had only been there for 6 months, and it was her dream job. She had gotten through the 6-month probation, and that was her celebration. She was using the income, funny enough, to start her own business, which was a blossoming, in her words, a blossoming lingerie and dessert business. Now, she did start a GoFundMe with a goal of $12,000. Now, I looked at it a few days ago, and it was only about a few hundred, maybe $300 or $400. And now it's gotten some more notoriety, and it's up to $1,200. So, cautionary tale for anybody that for yourself or your family, don't do things in the uniform. It will not go well. The third quick note I wanted to touch on was Hilton in Breckenridge in Colorado. The Hotel Alpenrock Breckenridge. Now, this is a curio collection for Hilton that just opened this month. It is 205 guest rooms, including 24 suites. And of course, this is the perfect time for the ski season there in Colorado. The location is great because it's only a 5-minute walk from the Quicksilver Super 6 and the Beaver Run Super Chair, which is quick access to the Breckenridge Ski Club slopes. Now, they do have a grand opening package right now through March 31st, $599 per night. But that also includes a $250 food and beverage credit and some additional benefits, a gift bag and such. So if you are a skier looking at Breckenridge or that area, might be a place you want to go and take a look at. And before we get to the next one, I wanted to thank John for stopping in. As I mentioned on here, as far as he is literally the Prince of Iceland, and we're going to have a little bit of information about Iceland with him in this, and he'll be back with his people in a few months. Excellent creator. I kind of put him along with me of people that are working to get to those 1,000 subscribers. So does an excellent job. Just put out an American Express platinum video of it getting back into his collection, as well as live streams that he started doing. So definitely check him out. Xavier, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate you doing that. Call me Lonnie. Really appreciate it. Another excellent content creator. You'll definitely want to be able to check him out. Always puts out excellent content with a really engaging type of video. So definitely want you to take a look at that. And John, thanks for the 2. I really appreciate it. Please click like and subscribe. It's really appreciated. And Sledge, really appreciate you coming in. Sledge does another excellent content creator. Really has a good spin on a lot of different credit cards. Sometimes a lot of ones that you don't hear so much about. In addition to his experience in the military, so obviously being able to have Navy Federal and all, but does talk about Bank of America credit cards as well as other ones. So if you definitely want a different spin on something, he's definitely does an excellent job. So thanks again for stopping through. So let's talk about the Red Cross donations and a little bit of kickback that you might be able to get for yourself. So obviously we know about the California wildfires that are going on, and obviously wishing the best for everybody that's affected. What you can do as an American Airlines Advantage member is you can donate to this wildlife relief fund, and you can earn 10 American miles per dollar. Now, the funds that are donated will go directly to the American Red Cross response there for the fire. Now, the donations do need to be at least $25, excuse me, and the deadline is January 22nd of 2025 for this program. You can donate online by credit card or PayPal, by phone or by mail. You can also donate miles if you want to from various airline loyalty programs to the American Red Cross. Now, as far as a few thoughts, obviously, if you're doing donations and all, that's always a great thing. American airline miles are commonly valued at about 1.4 cents per mile. That means you'll be getting about a 14% return on your donation with these 10 American miles bonus. You are free to use any credit card for this. So you don't have, even if you're an American Airlines Advantage member, you don't have to use one of their credit cards to get those points. So make sure that you consider which one is the best situation for you. A couple of things to keep in mind: Chase credit cards list charities as eligible as an eligible category for pay yourself back. For a lot of them, you may want to take a look at that if that is something of interest. Don't forget about that possibility. As well as for most people, though, it's really going to be that 2% catch-all card, whether it is the Venture X or whether it's the Citi Double Cash or the American Express Blue Business Card. So if you're going to look at that, really look to maximize your donations as best as possible, especially with credit cards. So definitely make sure to take a look. And then let's talk about some hotel openings, which I thought was pretty interesting. So first, we'll talk about the W, which will be in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, this is the first W resort, and all these ones are going to be basically dealing with points and miles that we're going to be able to benefit from this hobby that we all are that love to do. Now, there are 179 guest rooms, including 16 suites. Now, this is part of a skyscraper, and the rooms start on the 25th floor. So you're really going to get some excellent views of Sao Paulo from that skyscraper. Now, there are 2 restaurants, 3 bars. Now, the typical cash prices are starting around $400. Now, for points, you can do this with Marriott Bonvoy points for between 34 and 40,000 Bonvoy points. And make sure of note that 35,000 free night certificate can be a good option if you were looking at this. And you can also top off that 35,000 card certificate by an additional 15,000 points. And a couple of cards that would come to mind with this would be the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant and the business card, which would have the 35,000 points. So that would be one to look at. We also have a Hyatt Centric that's opened in Nepal, and it's called the Hyatt Centric Salternode in Kathmandu, Nepal. Now, this Centric was converted from a Hyatt Place. 153 guest rooms, including 3 suites, and 7 rooms will also have a fit-out terrace. All-day dining restaurant, as well as a pool and an actual sky bar at the pool, which was a very interesting looking layout. The cash price is only starting around $117. It's a category 1 for Hyatt, so you're only looking between 3,500 points for low up to 6,500 in the high part of the season. It's an excellent value for the cash or for the points if you are looking at being in Nepal. Mama Shelter. Now, I've never heard of this, and I wonder if some of you all have already heard of this brand. This is going to be this in Dubai, and it's the first Mama Shelter in the Middle East. Now, it is located in Dubai's Business Bay, which is one of the most desirable areas of Dubai. This has 197 rooms, including what they call a medium Mama, which is their regular room, the Mama XL, which you can imagine is a little bit larger, and then the double XL Mama Crazy Suite, which is gigantic for families. 4 outdoor pools, 4 restaurants. Now, this is only starting at around $120 for the starting price. Now, this falls under Accor Live Limitless or All. And so remember, this one is one of those ones where it's a bit different, where 2,000 points really actually equates to getting $41 off the cost that you're paying. So it's not the normal point structure that we normally are used to. But that could be a very interesting one. And for a brand that I've never heard of, I thought it was pretty interesting. Now let's look at 3 hotels that are actually coming. We've got the Hyatt Regency Bangkok that is set to open next month. Now, this is a rebranded Novotel Bangkok airport location. It is considered a 5-star hotel. 273 guest rooms and suites, all with floor-to-ceiling windows. Now, once again, as you see a lot of times in this part of the world, the pricing is not bad, starting around $190. Now, this falls under a Category 3 hotel, and so you're looking between 9 to 15,000 points of Hyatt. Once again, this is a good option for those Category 1 to 4 certificates, which you can basically get from the World of Hyatt personal card that I mentioned earlier, Brand Explorer, which basically is if you go to enough brands, once you get 5 different brands that you see at any point, then you earn that Category 1 to 4 certificate. And then for their milestone journeys that you would do as you're trying to accumulate the nights to move up the tiers. That's another option where you would be able to get that. Then we have the St. Regis Cap Cana. Now, this is set to open in April, and as part of Marriott's expanding the St. Regis brand into the Caribbean, another one of the St. Regises that they're having is the St. Regis Aruba that is going to open this month as well. Now, I've mentioned Cap Cana a lot of times. I'm a Hyatt super fan, and I've been to the Hyatt Solara and Cap Cana, and the difference of Cap Cana versus Punta Cana, because this is where it's located. You land in Punta Cana Airport, but Cap Cana is a gated area of Punta Cana and has its own name. A lot of luxury over there. The Zolaras there. You obviously now have the St. Regis Cap Cana, as well as Secrets, which is another Hyatt brand, all-inclusive. Now, the St. Regis is not all-inclusive, but obviously, if you've ever heard St. Regis, you know you're talking about a lot of luxury. 200 guest rooms and suites. There'll be 9 dining options, private beach access, and several pools. The starting cash price is going to be around $900. You can look at getting there through points though, but it is a beautiful area if you have that kind of luxury taste for a St. Regis. I think you're going to probably really like that. Then we've got the Rosewood Amsterdam. And this one, I did not have enough notes on that for, so I will make a note in the description for that. The next topic we're going to touch on is Hilton adding one single property. Now, I'm not talking about a brand. I'm just talking about one hotel or one resort. So, which we don't normally see, as I mentioned here. Hilton has basically done this because they now have the Evermore Resort in Orlando. Now, this resort is on 1,100 acres, has a bay, 12 dining and drinking venues, and there are even 2 golf courses. And if you're a golfer, it has a regular golf course as well as a European link-style golf course. Now, this is a massive rental complex, is what the Evermore is. So there are over 2,000 rooms, and it's a combination of apartments, multi-bedroom condos, as well as full houses. The property also includes the new Hilton Conrad on that property. Now, Frequent Miler recently reported that people on the wait list, skip that part. So if you're just looking at the next month, to talk about the variety of rooms that are at this place, there are 16 options. You can do a 2-bedroom villa with 2 king beds, 2 ensuite bathrooms at $734 a night or 135,000 points. Once again, that's for 2 bedrooms though, sleeping 4. This thing goes all the way up to an 11-bedroom house, 19 beds. It sleeps 32 people, 13 baths, a private heated pool. You can do that one for $4,050 per night or 1,448,000 points per night. In my opinion, Hilton has really begun to set itself apart from the small luxury and hotels of the world that they ended up essentially snatching from Hyatt. And then you have Auto Camp for some glamping with Airstreams, and then now this single purchase. So I think that you're really seeing a lot of additional value that you're getting from these Hilton points that we all end up having. So that is something I definitely wanted to bring to your attention. And I want to say, Mr. Coco, thank you so much for stopping through. Really appreciate it. Points Blank Travel, really appreciate you stopping through, sir. Great to see you come in. And so let's move to Delta Lounges right now. There's a lot of activity that is going to be going on with the Delta Lounges that I want to make sure to bring to your attention. So let's start with Philadelphia. Delta will be expanding the Sky Club that is near the DE connector there at the Philly airport. It will be a 2,000 square foot expansion that's going to be completed between October and December of this year. Now, Philadelphia is actually really an American Airlines hub, And in the summer of 2024, I'm sorry, 2025, they're going to actually open up a new flagship lounge. And for that will be in the A West terminal. Seattle, now we've talked about the battle for Seattle for Delta versus Alaska, for all of the expansion that they're doing and growth as they've done the merger with Hawaiian. They're going to have a Delta One lounge that will open later this spring, and this will be the fourth Delta One lounge. They opened three of them in 2024 with the JFK, LAX, and Boston. Now, JFK is larger than the three of those combined, but the Seattle lounge will be located near Gate 11 in Concourse A. Now, this lounge will just be under 11,000 square feet. Open air terrace with excellent featuring views of the mountains. At the same time, Seattle will also get its second Sky Club at the same time as the Delta One Lounge. Now, the two lounges are going to share in the same complex. The Sky Club will be 14,000 square feet, and both are slated to open, like I said, in the spring, which they're thinking will be May. So if you are flying through Seattle, you're going to have a lot of different lounge options, and you're going to see a lot of renovation and expansion that are going on there. And so if you're going through there, make sure to leave some comments and let us know what you end up seeing from there. Then we have Salt Lake City. Now, back in 2020, Delta opened a 20,000 square foot Sky Club in Concourse A. Now, at the time, it was the largest lounge in their entire network. Now, Delta will now be adding a 34,000 square foot Sky Club in Concourse B. Now, it should be open by Q4, so October through December. Now, the new lounge will be in the top three as far as size. They've recently expanded the Sky Club at LaGuardia, which is now 35,000 square feet. And then you got the Delta One at JFK at 40,000 square feet, where I mentioned that location is larger than the three other Delta One lounges that they're having. So should be an outstanding one there for Salt Lake. Now, Atlanta, if you've been through there, and I've been through there for a few times, a lot of Delta Sky Clubs mixed around there, but all kind of varying levels, and they still all seem to be very busy. So Atlanta has not seen a new Sky Club since 2016. Now, that's going to change now, though. As part of the renovation of Concourse D, they're going to add a new 23,000 square foot Sky Club. It should be open in the spring. In addition, they're going to do a facelift of the Sky Clubs in Concourse A and C. Now, I make sure to use the term facelift, not renovation, because I'm using Delta's words, which I think just means something to look a little bit better than what it looks like now. So don't necessarily expect some major renovation on there, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that to see if we have news. And then we have to talk about the access policy as a reminder. So as of February 1st, access through to the Delta Sky Clubs through the American Express credit cards will be changing. If you have any of these cards, you're going to already know this is the case, but this is your reminder. The American Express Platinum and Business Platinum will now go from the unlimited that we currently have down to 10 annual visits. And then the Delta Sky Miles Reserve and Business Reserve will now go from unlimited to 15 annual visits. So make sure that if you are a frequent flyer and you normally go to the Delta Sky Clubs, you might have to get that calculator out and count them up to make sure that you can fit within those numbers. And then let's talk about Southwest and Iceland Air. This is a partnership that we've heard about a few months ago, but this partnership on Wednesday got its interline agreement signed. So what are the things that we should look for from this partnership in the time frame that we're looking at? So beginning next month, you'll be able to start booking a seamless itinerary through Iceland Air involving Southwest. Now, Southwest is only going to start with one gateway location, which will be BWI in Baltimore, Washington area. Now, that'll be the one place where you'll be able to do that itinerary to come in and out through BWI to Iceland. Now on Wednesday, they also announced when they signed that the next gateways will be Denver and Nashville that we'll be seeing. Now we'll see that later this year to be able to add additional locations for you to be able to seamlessly do that. So now the question you probably are asking is, when are we going to see it in the reverse? Where are we going to see the Southwest ones? Well, we're going to see that in 2026. And as you can imagine, it makes sense for them to wait because Southwest is already going through their major business model change. So they need to wait until the new Southwest, quote unquote, has their assigned seats in place as well as their upgraded booking system. So once they've done that, then you will be able to book Iceland Air on Southwest systems, and customers will be able to fly to Keflavik and then to other European locations from there. Now, this is just the start for Southwest when it comes to foreign partners. We expect to see another one this year, but we don't have an idea of what it will be. And then they will continue to build on that. Now, for earning and paying with Rapid Rewards, that's going to be probably a later stage that we'll see in 2026. It's not going to be something that we're going to see too fast with that as well, but that'll probably be the last phase that we end up seeing. So so if you're interested in that expansion of the model for Southwest or Iceland, that'll be something that should be something that can work out well for you. Now let's talk about Virgin Atlantic and their status match. But this is not just, unfortunately, just a regular status match. There is a bit more to this. So Virgin Atlantic has had status match for quite a long time, but they updated the number of airlines that they had recently to a total of 11. Now you get to have the chance to match to silver or gold status with Virgin Atlantic. And if you're a UK resident, there is actually even a bigger bonus that you could qualify for. If you're a UK resident and you do the matching of the status, you could be one of 5 members that win 1 million bonus miles. So if you're a UK resident, and even if you don't know if you'll ever fly Virgin Atlantic or rarely do, you do want to put yourself in the match just for the chance at 1 million points. Now, I won't go over all of these. I'll just name the eligible airlines you're looking at, but you'll see on the slide as far as what qualifies, what's the match for the silver versus the gold. But the airlines are Air Canada, Air India, American, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, Emirates, Hawaiian, Iberia, Lufthansa, South African, as well as United. And so there is excellent opportunities for North American residents to be able to jump into this. The one unfortunate part of this is you have to have a required flight tied to this. So whether you, with either the silver or the gold match, you're required to show that you have an upcoming Virgin Atlantic flight. So it can't be one that you've already taken. It's got to be one that's upcoming. And so if you are trying to get silver status, it can be any cabin that you would will qualify. But if it's gold, it has to either be premium/premium economy or upper class for Virgin Atlantic. Now that can be with rewards or cash, but it's not an ideal situation, especially if it's not something that you fly often with Virgin Atlantic. Now this match is good for 12 months. And as far as what you're going to see, what you get with silver and gold, with silver, you get a 30% bonus on points, on earnings. You'll get premium check-in, and then you'll get free seat selection, but that is specific to economy light. That is for Virgin Atlantic. And for gold, you'll get 60% bonus. You'll get upper class check-in, and extra checked luggage, and then access to the clubhouse and the Logan Heathrow Revivals lounges. So there's not a whole lot wrapped into this, and it's not something that I think you're going to break your neck to try to get to. But if you have status and you have a Virgin Atlantic flight upcoming or plan to have one, then once again, it's one of those sweeteners that It's nice to be able to take something you've earned to get something else for free. But that flight is definitely not the thing you want to be able to have to see. So as we talk about airlines, let's talk about Frontier. And so we've seen this interesting thing with Southwest having to change its business model. Frontier, as the ultra low business airline, definitely has had to change its business model. And we've heard a little bit about this, but we do have some more definitive information right now. So as I mentioned, we've seen that there's this business models are struggling to survive under this. We've seen it with Spirit, Frontier, um, and obviously Spirit to try to do the merge. But one interesting thing that Frontier CEO Barry Biffle said, he said, you've got fuel capacity and demand all headed in the wrong direction. We're kind of the canary in the coal mine. As we know from that kind of phrase, it basically means that they're the first ones to see the major problems on the horizon, and they are experiencing it. So what they're trying to do is to raise the level of their product and the benefits that you get if you're a loyal flyer of them. So last month, Frontier announced this next phase of the game-changing transformation of the new Frontier, quotes. So here's the update. So first class seating, we will begin to see that in late 2025 on all of their airplanes. They expect to have 8 seats per jet in a 2-2 configuration. Now, this year, what we did see from Frontier is they introduced that upfront plus seating, which for the first 2 rows, it gave you extra leg room. And what they did was they blocked the middle seat. So it was something to kind of get things started to try to provide some benefits to flyers, but it's not the sustainable long-term plan, which is what the first class seating is. Then you also have free seat upgrade. So you will be able to have complimentary upgrades if you are a Frontier Miles Gold member, which within 4 hours of the flight, Platinum 12 hours within the flight before the flight, and then Diamond 24 hours. And so that's what you're kind of looking at to get that free seat upgrade, where they're trying to start making the status more valuable. And then you also get free unlimited companion travel for the platinum and diamond members. I think you do still have to pay the taxes and fees, but outside of that, you have free unlimited companion travel. So if I've not flown Frontier before, not sure if I will now, but if you are a person that has flown or is a frequent flyer of it, these are probably very good benefits that you've wanted to see that are starting to roll out. And then let's take a look at this flying blue devaluation. And it's kind of a mixed bag. And in this case, we're going to have to kind of believe what we're being told, unfortunately, before we actually see anything. So what's basically going on is that we're talking about Air France KLM Flying Blue program, which is one of the more valuable and most used programs, not just for their metal for Air France KLM, but for also the partners on there. There are very good deals with their points. And we also talk about their monthly program that they have also for Air France and KLM, especially flying from North America to Europe. Now, what we're basically seeing on there now is that the published award numbers have now increased. So now they don't publish their award chart, but basically what we normally see from North America to Europe is it's normally been 20,000 miles one way for economy, 35,000 miles for premium economy, and then 50,000 for business. Now we're seeing that economy has gone from 20 to 25, premium economy has gone from 35 to 40, and then business has gone from 50 to 60. So those numbers represent 14 to 25% increase. Now, what Flying Blue is telling us is that while they're doing this devaluation, that they promise there will be more award availability. It's a promise. It's not something we're seeing yet, I've looked at some other people that do blogs and all, and that we're just kind of believing what they've done, that this is going to end up happening. Now, as far as some thoughts, as far as the devaluation, while we don't want to see this happen, I think we're all used to seeing there's going to be devaluation. Anywhere that there's something that's working out for us, we're going to see devaluation probably every year. But I think that one thing to kind of take a note of is that we didn't really see a significant increase in this. It's not like some of these other devaluations that we've seen where it literally wipes out a itinerary and that it wiped out a route or wiped out a certain distance because it was so high. This I don't think is that bad that we're seeing. So I think we do have to kind of take that into account. And the redemptions that we were getting with Flying Blue were so good already that while it does not, we don't ever want to have to pay more. I don't think that this is that bad. Now, when it comes to the award availability, though, this is good to hear, but as we all know, it's all about the details. How much new award availability will we see? One. Two, how much are we going to see of that availability with the premium seats? These are things we don't have any details about and we don't really know. So it's something that we're just going to have to kind of make sure to keep our eye out for this. But I don't think it's going to be something that's going to necessarily turn us away from using that Flying Blue program, because there's still just too many things that you can be able to do with it that works out real well. So I think those are the kind of things to kind of point out for this. And I see on here, John flying Southwest now. Might be something you want to consider, John. There might have some good numbers for you on that flight to Iceland. But those are the kind of the things that talking about for this week for the information. And want to make sure if anybody's got any thoughts or questions or anything for us to kind of touch on or anything that we need to talk about. I think that we're going to see more. We've got to see more from Frontier. We're going to see more from Spirit as far as their changing business model. We pretty much have a very good layout of Southwest. We know essentially what's supposed to happen when with their conversion from the cattle call to the assigned seating. And what you're seeing from Frontier as well as Southwest is trying to make their those frequent flyers have for status have a better value wrapped into that. And I think that's what we're going to continue to see with them. Now, unfortunately for my Delta, they're actually trying to do the opposite of kind of thinking that they're going to piecemeal a lot of things where you have to pay for the access to the lounges and everything for that. That status won't get you as far as it used to. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these business models, or do all of them end up working. Definitely like seeing the new lounges. I think that clearly, I think there, to me, there was a part of where we didn't see these new lounges coming in. And now we're seeing that essentially everybody is doubling down deep into these lounges because they're seeing how much they mean to us as flyers of their airline. So, but those are the things that kind of come to my thought in regards to this. So, but if there's not anything thoughts or anything with that, definitely want to thank everybody for stopping through and getting this information. Always great to have people on and to be able to kind of go through these things with you and make sure that we're making sure that we're going to share that information and being ahead of the game. So everybody make sure to take care and look forward to talking with you later. Take care.